We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, prepackaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Dan Kershaw. Apparently Ryan had an eye infection and he had to wear an eye patch.
I don't know how this guy fucking wears it all the time.
I could have went with pirate, but given we're a political podcast, Ryan mentioned Dan Kershaw. It kind of make the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, for real, I wonder if he's got a special eye patch that like fills in or like sucks to his eye, because this sucks. He just has like the little, like Morpheus thing going, like invisible eye, like elasticless eye patch,
Believe it or not, there's been 55 episodes of the weekly show, all the week's hottest topics with a twist. This sums up the show basically. For those of you who haven't watched, if you have not watched, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Liking, commenting is super important for getting the video out with the YouTube algorithm, but subscribing is important for you, so you can watch more of this if you, for whatever reason, wanted to. I promise you, the show gets going. This is just the beginning, and I think Ryan's a little drunk, to be honest with you.
I had beers early. I told you I call them kryptonites, but god damn it, if we can't make fun of disabled people, who can't we make fun of anymore?
Ryan makes a point. Speaking of people we can make fun of, let's get into the first segment of the show. Headlines. Stelter admits that the scandal has been a, quote, CNN conundrum, but defends Chris Cuomo for, quote, tuning out the family drama. Of course, that is the family drama of New York Governor Cuomo. Are we supposed to say allegedly? How does this work? I think we're
sexually assaulting people?
Yes, but we're supposed to throw an allegedly in there, right? Until he's convicted.
There's not alleged shit with that guy. There's no alleged things when it comes to me with him. Why would I give him the benefit of the doubt? Oh, that's right. We have a two-tier justice system in America, right?
I'll be honest, Ryan. I feel a little scummy talking about someone else's family drama. This is just, that's all this is just some family drama. Family drama is not your brother who's the governor of a major state is groping women. That's not family drama. That sounds like something that should be on CNN, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just going to say it one time right now. He killed your fucking grandparents. He killed people. He groped people, but he fucking murdered people.
He also may have done that.
DOJ, it's weird that investigation came out before the other one about him sexually assaulting people. Apparently they were police officers. I seen one report that he asked for a woman specifically, a very specific woman on the police force to be his private security detail, and then he groped her.
I also saw that report, but these are all, of course, just reports and allegations based on...
I'm just waiting for his name to be on the next call log for Epstein Island. No wonder Sandra Lee left him. I don't know if you know, but the celebrity chef Sandra Lee on Food Network, she's kind of hot. Hot for an older broad, but
Again, if you haven't seen the show, this is not... By the way, this isn't anything uncommon. This is just Ryan.
50 subs and counting. Thank you. Yeah, he was dating her for a while, and then she got a mammogram or whatever, got her breast removed, and then they broke up.
Is this a real story?
Yeah. Look.
Is he married? He's married, right?
No, he's not married. He was with Sandra Lee for fucking like 12 years or something, and then they fucking broke up recently, and then even Chris Cuomo's dumbass was like, my brother's ready to mingle. This was a while ago. They broke up like before the COVID pandemic, but the point is, like, This guy knew what he liked. I mean, he specifically targeted somebody. You would call this grooming, right? If any other scenario.
If this was Epstein, yes, we would call it grooming.
Yeah, this was grooming for his potential candidates. He probably, maybe that's why he liked to hire women.
Ryan, are you insinuating the?
Yes, that's exactly what he hired hot chicks. He hired hot chicks so he could grope them. This guy's a fucking serial pedophile. I'm sorry, serial sexual assaultist. I don't want to get my terms mixed up. This guy's a fucking creep. It's not allegedly, Dave. There's 40 custody. These people already came out and said he did it. We got 50 points of evidence. He killed 20% of the nursing home population. Zero proof of that, but you got fucking ass and tits on camera every single time. This dude this guy's a serial psychopath, sexual assaulter, and he's also a mass murderer. I don't care what anybody tells me. And he's the governor of a state. One of the wealthiest states there is. Most vote, they'll hold a lot of population, a lot of power. New York City, Niagara Falls. I mean, there's a lot of shit in New York, and this guy is the head psychopath of them all.
Is he still writing that book?
God, this is pathetic, man. I really wonder if he. My father actually called me and told me something that because they're drafting articles of impeachment on Cuomo, and if it passes and they majority agrees that he's impeached, it doesn't matter if he's guilty or not of the impeachment. He has to step down per the New York State Constitution. Not like they give a flying fuck about that anymore. But yeah,
who in New York, if Cuomo were to get impeached, who takes over?
Kathy Hochul, who's terrible.
Oh God, leave him in.
Keep the ass grabber.
Leave him in. It gets worse as it goes down the line.
I want the ass grabber. Imagine Kathy Hochul is probably
is the socialist mayor of Buffalo? Is she going to be third if Hochul's out?
See, and that's what's so important because Hochul is from this area, so like it's already like a leg in the region, and then we got the socialists. We tack that in together and everything else in this region, and they're just going to suck us dry even further. What they really want to do is bulldoze the Republican majority that's in this area that gets drowned out because of gerrymandering, because of Democrats. But yeah, I bet you Kathy Hochul's got a palm full of cock over there too. She's probably groping guys too. So don't. It's just a change of the guard. This is Palpatine switching Darth Vader for Count Dooku. This is all this is doing.
There was a changing of the guard over at the DOJ recently. This was my somehow way of getting into the next headline because I'll be honest, Ryan, you didn't give me much on that one. It's not your fault. It's not your fault because you don't know what's coming next. But usually I have a leg in, and this time, there wasn't much. Headlines! Justice official accused Trump of using the DOJ to push election fraud claims in draft resignation letter. I suppose this could be considered a bad thing. However, if there was actually voter fraud, wouldn't the DOJ be the place that is supposed to investigate voter fraud? No?
None of this shit makes any sense, bro. So the guy goes to the guy he's supposed to. That's his job. The head, basically, Department of Justice is the head cop of America. It's an appointed position. So it's
they're all unelected bureaucrats, which is our favorite over here at December 73.
What? They know exactly what they're doing. These people are appointed. They're Trump's friends. He goes to him and be like, hey, kind of look into voter fraud. It might be election indiscrepancies.
Not that we insinuate that any such thing did occur.
There's just proof coming out. But... Hey.
YouTube.
Speaking of that, I seen that California is allowing people to print their own ballots at home.
Print their own ballots. That's good. I mean...
Because nobody has printers. You can't massively fake this shit. Dude,
Hear me out. I'm going to do conspiracy cast here. I'm going to get a little... and I'm not much of a conspiracy guy, but I like a good conspiracy. What if they're purposely pushing voter insecurities or election insecurities? They're purposely pushing these narratives, they being people who are elite and not us. What if they're pushing it so they can do mass voting via technology?
Whoa. What do you mean, Dave? It'd be like, look, this old system.
Like, you get a fucking text on election day. Click the link to vote for your candidate. Ooh, this sounds easy. Boop. Click. Vote counted. Done. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, it definitely is, but we'll be fucked. I mean, we've said here in the past that there should be some resistance to voting. Not that you can't have a voting test, but I mean, this is what I actually want to bring this up today, because it's we say these people know exactly what they do. You know, they're lawyers. When they void the Constitution, when they overstep their state and federal bounds, and they appoint bureaucrats that then direct local policy, when they steer the public domain, when the media can craft narratives and spin it any way they want to get people to feel a certain way and divide half the country very explicitly, and all these other things. Like, anybody remotely, Dave, I think you said a few weeks ago, anybody remotely paying attention can really realize this. I mean, this is what was the gravitas to Trump with fake news, right? The problem with Trump is they weaponized him against himself, which is fucking brilliant, because it worked. You know, like, it was, I mean, honestly, it was chaos for 4 years.
Yeah.
So there's memes going around. I miss the days of 5 and 6 tall cups of coffee and 3 or 4 mean tweets, man. But like, literally, that's how we operated as adults for 4 years. While this guy just went fucking ham on the microphone, and, you know, whether or not it aside, anybody remotely paying attention can really see a lot through these things. And the voting thing is no different than Cuomo grabbing people's asses. And I mean, I have a list of things on here, and it's just basically, if you pay attention, you would know that they're lies. But it's because we don't pay attention that they're able to just slip it over our eyes, and people believe it. A lot of people believe it. This is a problem with democracies. You know, that's why we're supposed to be a republic. And the easier they make it voting, the faster this will erode. And my Decembertainment will kind of tie into this. But it's so important to know history, man. This is really crazy. It's really unprecedented. I mean, you're 100% right, Dave. We'll get to a point that you just get a link sent to you, or it will be like it will be Instagram filter. You know, like, click here to vote on this. I mean, Instagram did it this last time. Facebook as well. They were signing people up. They actually bragged. I think it was a few million people, or a dating app. I think Bumble maybe. It was one of these apps. They got millions of people to sign up through social media.
A big thing that I guess a reason why a lot of people don't see the things that we see is they're making the mistake of seeing this through the eyes of incompetence, when it's really corruption. And I think the sooner people realize that everything is done for a reason, these people know exactly what they're doing, and it's corruption, I think people will start to come around. But I think if people keep thinking, well, if we just vote the right people in, well, no, because there are no right people.
Yeah, well, how are we going to vote the right people in when the people casting votes are corrupt already? We're corrupt people. Look, I'm a day drinking on a Sunday. I'm a model fucking citizen. You think I'd even be voting? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? How many people I know that probably shouldn't vote just because they're degenerates? You know what I mean? Like, if we were to weigh people morally, you shouldn't fucking do anything. You shouldn't leave your house for anything. You're like, you know, not that they're pieces of shit. They go and do their thing, but it's like, dude, like, there's a lot of inconsistencies with a lot of average people, and then we think these politicians are magically going to rise above us. And I mean, once again, let's go back to the last 4 years of the former president. We were told every day how corrupt this guy was and how much power he was, and he was an authoritarian, and he was just trying to do it for him and his cronies and all of his buddies. They were making it sound so easy. They were making it sound like the whole apparatus that he gained power over was so corrupt that he could influence and empower everybody, which he probably can, being a fucking president of America.
Yeah, well, they did do that, but then Biden took office, and it's like everything went away.
No, they just want vaccine masks and mandates and fucking non-FDA approved shit. We're not authoritarian, but we're just going to consort with, you know, social media, which has never banned anybody on one side of the aisle in particular, and we're going to consort with them so that we can stop the spread of, quote, misinformation. But when Trump said, quote, fake news, that was bullshit, right? Oh, there's no such thing as fake news. There's no such thing as misinformation. There's just bad information.
No such thing as fake news. But we have the first headline of the day, Brian Stelter saying, I don't want to get involved in Chris Cuomo's family drama, referring to the governor groping women. Yeah. This is the problem with media. I mean, we said this forever ago. Obviously, the fact that Chris Cuomo, not that he shouldn't have a job just because his brother's a governor, but if you don't think there's going to be some, nepotism there, if you think he's going to pull his brother on his show and hammer him with questions, you're out of your mind. Dude,
he was on there through the whole pandemic. There was videos of them laughing and crying together about like buddy old pal shit. Dude, be professional. Like, I get that, like, this is like a soap opera, considering you won an Emmy. The fucking I mean, come on. The party that crafts, they give awards to themselves. Like,
they're not even trying to hide it. This is what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. They said the guy before him was corrupt and a fucking reality president and all this other shit. Nothing changed. The guy before him wasn't different. The guy before him wasn't. The guy before, but now it's a problem. Why is it a problem? The most honest president in our lifetime. That's why. Most honest president. He was a fucking idiot. A lot of things, but to even go to go further on the Chris Cuomo shit, man. Like, how is media even in business if it's obviously an open lie? Because they're arms for pharmaceutical companies. They're arms for fucking big tech and big government and all these other. Basically, media is the bodega arm of information for all the other entities, for the media organizations like Disney and all the propaganda they push, and then the politicians that feed into that, the fucking pharmaceutical companies. You can't watch a news station without getting some kind of medical thing shoved down your throat, and all this ad revenue, all this attention, all this way they drive. Remember, the only thing they're gonna trust, social media. I just typed in YouTube before we started. YouTube in my computer is considered social media, not a fucking video platform, which is crazy. But they said they're consorting with the government to combat misinformation. I wonder what information they're going to allow on the internet. Dave, is it going to be somebody that is local reporting on their fucking cracked iPhone screen after they slept in a garbage can all night to get the news breaking story? Or is it going to be people familiar with the matter, or people that had inside knowledge, or people unnamed sources, all this other shit, but you want to fact check fucking other things? This is like, how are these people in business? They're only in business because it's proof that they are pushing propaganda for the other entities, for the other ends of corruption. We're seeing it now. We're really seeing it now under Biden because people supposedly are paying attention. But Donald Trump was the second most elected president ever by popular vote. So people are paying attention. And his fake news shit, man, that's legendary. People will never trust media ever again. And, I'd like to say the media is dying, but they're just evolving. Once again, the White House is working with social media. There's a reason for that. They're going to build the next social media with the government. This isn't a stretch of the imagination. They've already controlled speech. They've already throttled algorithms. They already got fucking filters up for COVID. I mean, it's like the same theme over and over every week we're seeing here, but it's just like the degree of intensity. It's like, they say the frog in the boiling water, right? Like, you can't put a frog in boiling water because it will jump out. But if you put him in the water and increase the temperature gradually, it won't notice, and soon it will be boiled alive. That's what we're under the gradual degree right now. We're really seeing it.
People never saw this when it was happening back in the day. And when I say people, I mean like the aggregate of people. People didn't see it in the past when government was getting schools and getting in the bed with schools, big, education sector and everything like that. They were getting in there and taking over, and now you have, teachers unions giving tons of money to Democrats, and they didn't really see it happening when the government was taking over the media, the legacy old school media. People didn't really notice and see when that was happening, but now I don't know if people are seeing it as a whole with this social media, but I know definitely a decent sized chunk of people are seeing it because it's obvious. And I don't know if it's obvious because they don't care if it's obvious, because what are you going to do about it? But we have Facebook and YouTube working with the government now to combat misinformation. And I'm assuming Twitter and Instagram and everybody, I'm sure they're all in on it, but...
Well, they're not going to fucking Tumblr or Parler. They banned Parler. I'm sure Parler's not one of the trusted White House sources because they were going to allow the president up, right? The former president. Yeah, they're definitely... Dude, it's crazy. But I think people are waking up because it's too hard to not pay attention. Like, if you're remotely paying attention. You know, the only people I think that don't really, like, don't understand what the media is capable of are people that graduated high school under the Donald Trump presidency. I mean, dude, anybody in their 20s should have obviously seen that the media can do whatever the fuck they want and they can make people believe whatever the fuck they want. I mean, we're seeing it now. We're seeing that Donald Trump's conspiracy theories directly led to the January 6th riots. Now, whether or not we want to get into that topic, we can obviously see, they obviously are saying that the thing that this guy, headlines, is driving people to do things. So they're saying somebody's narrative is directly affecting people's lives and causing them to do things. Well, why do we think the news is any different?
Well, that's why I like doing the headline segment, Ryan.
It's actually why it probably organically happened.
I like taking the headlines and then breaking them down. So you're not only looking at the headlines. Or am I doing it so I can bring people to our narrative?
Well, really, I think a lot about this because I would say that we're non-unique, but I know we are. But it's like the idea of like taking their material and just recovering it. It's basically like artists critiquing other artists. You know what I mean? Basically, but it wouldn't. I don't find a problem in it because the things that they're saying are directly, literally affecting our lives, and they're obviously lying. They're obviously if government's corrupt, I can't imagine the level of corruption in the average media place. You know, if Silicon Valley is most left-leaning, fucking super hyper aggregate of this very particular ideology, I can't imagine what media is. And that goes. Fox News has got to be a fucking right-wing cult as far as I'm concerned, as far as adjectives go. Just like the left-wing shit's got to be like a fucking cult at NPR. The problem is there's a lot more NPRs than there is Fox Newses. That's the problem. You know, that's what, like, if you look independent media, it's mostly left, libertarian, right-leaning. Why is that? Why is that? Why is freedom the right-leaning idea right now? There's a lot of people, Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson's daughter right now, she said, I just caught a clip of her podcast on Instagram, but she said that she considered herself liberal-leaning her whole life. And now she's like, why does it seem like the right, who I was told was not right? You're always told the right is not liberty-leaning, liberty-oriented, when we could argue about that. But she says, now I feel myself aligning more on the right. Well, I think that shows how far the left has come. So the left of our grandparents is not the left of today. And that's obviously apparent in the narratives, the things they've sown, the way they've moved our Overton window and what we view acceptable in society. I mean, I'm reading articles about New York City wants to have an elephant be granted human rights. Human rights for a fucking animal. What are we doing?
Is he going to have to wear a mask and get a vaccine?
Right, but he should be given the right of a vaccine and a mask. He has the right to not die from everything. But if we go the other way, you know, somebody that has disagreeing points of view, you barely look at them as human. We've dehumanized humans and we're humanizing non-humans. Just like I've said with civil liberties, we're taking away real civil liberties like freedom of speech and giving it to fake civil liberties like gay marriage. Not saying that gay marriage isn't a right, but just the fact that, you know, basically freedom, there is no shade or flavor. Freedom is the fucking rainbow, literally. Like, true freedom is everything. Like, that's all gay marriage. That's all straight marriage. It's not even a right because it's just freedom. Like, that's what I'm arguing, but you want to define these things. You want to gut one to define the other because you're controlling language. We're seeing it more and more. It's just like hyperspeed.
You have given me a segue. For speaking of freedom and defending yourself and your property, headlines: Missouri governor pardons couple who aimed guns at BLM protesters. For people who don't remember these people, like the most yuppie. They definitely drive a Subaru Forester or something. They had the guy had the yellow pink polo and the khaki pants, and she had like the weird stripy "I live in suburb" shirt. But yeah, when yeah, so when the BLM protests were going on, which of course were mostly peaceful, and they were scared that their property was going to get damaged and they were going to get robbed and vandalized and possibly worse. They decided to pull out the Great Equalizer and ended up turning the protesters away, which is part of why people have the right to guns. And then they went to jail. That's that story. Anyway, the governor said, "Yeah, what are you talking? What are you even talking about right now? They're legally allowed to do that." What's
this? To go even a couple, that house that they bought is like, I don't want to speak out of school, but I think it's an old plantation house.
Well, that's just ironic.
But they spent a lot of money, like remodeling this place, like back to its old, like what's it called? Not remodeling, restoring it back to its former, like basically like what it was supposed to look like when it was brand new, just without the slaves. And so like they were like, obviously this is like millions of dollars of house that we're just supposed to wait. What am I supposed to let toss shit through my 18th century glass? What the fuck is wrong with you? Remember when Notre Dame burned and everyone was like, oh my fucking god, yeah! I got a fucking 19th century plantation house here. I'm just supposed to let people fucking destroy history.
Apparently. You're supposed to probably tear down that house, just like the statues, because it's slavery or whatever.
Yeah, just like the Founding Fathers, where they met in a place in Philadelphia. It was a bar, and they bulldozed it a few years ago. Oh, we just forgot.
I think
historical monument, the Liberty and Declaration of Independence.
I think if Ryan was alive 200 plus years ago, he would be one of the Founding Fathers, because they met in a bar at Philadelphia.
I'd be Paul Revere's bastard son. Fuck England! I was probably arguing with those people just like I do to broads now at the bar.
It's been a very long time since we've said anything like this. In fact, since this podcast started under a Trump presidency, we have never, ever brought this up before.
What? I'm very curious.
See, this is good. This is engaging. He's hooked. If you're engaged, also like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Headlines. Embassy in the Middle East urging American citizens to leave now as of Taliban surges. Taliban. The Taliban's back. There was Middle Eastern peace, if I remember correctly, for the most part.
Yeah, but I thought the Taliban
mostly peaceful.
I thought the Taliban became ISIL. ISIS?
Well, it's the Taliban again.
How did the Taliban succeed when Trump beat the fuck out of all of them?
Well, I don't know if you remember this, Ryan, but in November we had an election, and there in no way was election fraud. And then Joseph Biden won the election fair and square. And then he became
most elected ever.
So now Joe Biden, who was the most popular president in the history of the United States, if you even, I don't even need anything at all to convince me of voter fraud other than the fact that Joe Biden was the most elected president in the United States history. You're telling me Joe Biden won more people over than anybody in the history? No one else. I don't. Right out of the gate, I don't buy that. Not saying there was election fraud.
David. It's got to be his woman vice president, who has also fantastic reviews right now.
But
coming out that she's running it like a fucking gulag in her administration, did go to the border, and just laughs about it. I haven't been to Europe either.
Yeah. So anyway, these two people were the most elected in history. Because it is the Biden-Harris administration, as our viewers do know.
Biden-Harris-Obama administration who threw a fucking party.
So yeah, anyway, they took over. Taliban's back, so that's fun. For people who don't remember the Taliban, since it's been 4 years, the Taliban are people in the Middle East who want to destroy America and Western civilization.
They hate us because of our freedom.
But anyway,
and most people on YouTube who are in their late teens weren't even fucking live when 9/11 happened, so they don't even know what happened to the world and how it changed. Not that I was crazy old, but I was old enough to remember. And now here we sit, same thing that took us down 20 years ago. It's weird because they weren't supposed to withdraw by the end of the year, David? Probably gonna have a Christmas party on the way out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just gonna withdraw, or hear me out, and I'm not predicting the future by any means, but I'm sure we'll talk about this prediction later on. Or the Taliban is going to rise again, and it'll be the reason they can't withdraw. Because, believe it or not, the anti-war left is pro-war.
Yeah, they were anti-Big Pharma, and they're certainly pro-Big Pharma right now.
The first sign that they're pro-war is the fact that Biden took over and he moved the date back. He delayed pulling out of the Middle East. He delayed pulling troops and people celebrated. They were coming out anyway. Now they're just coming out later for some symbolic reason on September 11th.
He didn't even set the pullout date. Look at what I did! Just like his job numbers, he's bragging about job numbers right now. 6-1 most ever. Yeah, you shut the fucking world down! No, oh my God!
No one noticed this, by the way. No one. They really think nobody's onto this?
Dude, they gotta keep you gotta sell the lie. I said, Hillary Clinton, I remember calling into WBN, local Republican radio now, which has been co-opted as long as Tom Barley's on there, fucking douchebag. And I met his daughter before. She doesn't speak very highly of him. Anyways, that's out of school. I remember calling in Tom Barley. It was around the debates of 2016 when Trump was wrecking Hillary and everything. I still have my notes from them. I love going back and reading them. Dude, I giggle because Trump's I'm like Trump stalking on the stage. This dude was incredible. I miss that guy in politics, honestly. Or we need more guys like him. Anyways, Hillary was asked about Obamacare. And I remember specifically, it was like a town hall or a person from the audience, and they were like, I know your premiums have gone up. I know Obamacare has been a disaster, but we have to just keep working within the government to fix it. Basically. I'm paraphrasing, but I remember calling in the radio about it, and I told them on the radio, even when confronted with the failures of Obamacare in particular, they said, we just got to keep going. They have to sell the lie. They have to sink with the Titanic. They know the fucker's going down. They're telling you, be like, no, the ship's not sinking, and they're climbing on the lifeboat while we're going to sink. They know what they're doing. They're selling the lie. Biden's numbers, I really hope people are waking up. I know people are. I know people locally. We speak about it. I speak about it. We know, man. And they know in Washington. If they were scared the way they were on January 6th, could you imagine what would happen if Americans were actually really to rally together to fight the corruption that plagues our government? Could you imagine?
Are you insinuating, since they were so scared during an armless insurrection, that if we used the constitutional right to overthrow the government, they'd be really scared? Not that we're suggesting you do such a thing. That's inciting violence, and we don't suggest doing such a thing.
If that were to ever happen, it'd be more monumental than the first time that it happened. And it would be because we have so much access and plentifulness, and we have so much, and we were still able to rally down corruption and make it manageable again. Because governments will always be corrupt. We're talking about, New York City's talking about you can't go in to get a fucking plate of food unless you have a vaccine. My Fourth Amendment, I can get the Constitution and read it word for word, but your Fourth Amendment protects unlawful searches and seizures against your person, places, and effects. I'm my person. Do I have an autonomy over my body or do I not? Do I own my body? It's a real question. We're really asking this. What made America great was that we empowered the individual. Now we're talking about the thought of social constructs of society. I wonder if social constructs of freedom are going to be the next thing. You're like, oh, freedom is just an idea that we develop socially. Maybe we should take away freedom because it's harmful to others. For real. For real.
Well,
do you have the autonomy of my body or not? We're talking about passports. We're talking about vaccines. New York State is talking about They brag about their app. You can get the Excelsior app. Isn't it crazy? The word Excelsior, which means like, I don't know, in Roman or Latin, it means like rule. It means like law. You know what I'm saying? Like they're using it. You care about symbolism in fucking Pokemon games. You don't know what your government's doing with symbolism. They're literally naming shit about like literally having law of domain over human existence in our state, and nobody gives a fuck. Joe Rogan's under slack right now because he's out speaking against it. And you know what, Dave? I told you guys. I listened to I've not listened to Rogan since he moved to Texas, and I told you guys this. I've listened to very few clips, and I tried booting up something. I forget what the YouTube thing that caught my name. And Rogan's disdain for New York City, talking about passports, for getting food and everything. He's like, this fucking idiot, just the way he was talking about it. Joe Rogan is a Republican. He was super Texified. He was super duper Texified. He probably wants voter ID. He probably wants lower taxes because he sees what the fuck had happened. He came from California. The very guy that was like, are we universal basic income and all these other things? I bet you he's all against it now. It's a shame, and I hope people are waking up to it.
So, we talk a lot on this show about, obviously the concept of freedoms, but sometimes we talk about hip-hop and hip-hop artists. And this, I gotta say, this is one of my favorites from back in the day. He's an old school dude. Headlines! Rapper Busta Rhymes has had it with government overreach. Fuck your mask. It's called God-given right of freedom. My man. Love that dude.
Only got a God-given right of freedom because white men took over their government and made it smaller. Remember that. That's what they tell you. They tell you it's white, rich fucking men. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, he's 100% right. I don't know why we got to question this. I don't know why it takes celebrities. You know, like he knows he's got to speak out against this shit. Like, it's crazy that it takes people like this just for the average person to grow a backbone. They're talking about putting masks on kids when kids are the lowest spreader of COVID there is. Lowest statistical demographic. Yeah, fuck your mask, man. I'm not wearing a mask in public. You know what? If I have to order my shit on an app and pick it up in person, fine. I'm not wearing a fucking mask in person either. The fuck out of here. Good job, Busta Rhymes.
Like that dude. So, I wanted to end on this one. This is my last headline, but I gotta say, I don't know if you saw this, but this is just everything wrong with the Democratic Party in literally one headline. Headlines! Emergency shelter in Texas border city expands capacity as more COVID-positive migrants are released.
Wait, what? They're releasing COVID-positive people into the country.
Well, yeah, they can't hold them all. They've expanded the site was originally intended for 250 people. There's now 850 plus people in these sites.
Sounds inhumane.
Yeah, well, at least they're not in. Okay. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Who built the cages?
Yeah. So there's that. You know. By the way, we don't have a border problem. Harris, who had taken charge of this border crisis, which is a border crisis. She said there's no border problem. So, if we don't have a border problem, can we at least try and tell them that we have a COVID problem at the border? Would that work?
Well, Dave, we wouldn't want that because then the federal government could rally all of their power to actually, maybe get the border under control finally. It's crazy the Democratic Party right now is talking about an infrastructure bill, but they didn't want to fucking talk about spending money to build a wall at the southern border where this is a problem. The big problem is that issues like this can't even get figured out because there's obviously so much bullshit tied to it. It's obviously apparent. Either Mexico has to change or we got to build a wall until it's fixed. Walls aren't perfect. People will climb over them, climb under them, but we can't just have them fucking walk in here. And the time where you want to lock down everybody and scan United States citizens' phones with a fucking Alexior passport, we got people that are I saw another one. Somebody got caught here. Got a court date because that's what the fuck they do. They bust them wherever the fuck they want. They killed somebody and this person was an illegal immigrant, killed somebody, and they were supposed to be showing up to court like however many days ago, never showed up, and then they commit murder. I'm sure they were hungry or something. I'm sure we're supposed to be very welcoming.
So I've said many times, I don't know if I've said it officially on the show before, but I tend to be fairly libertarian, except for border policy. I do believe in a strong, stout border. Now, with that said, I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of the wall, just because I feel like there's better, less expensive ways to control your border.
You can wall with digital surveillance. I mean, it's still a wall.
Right.
Trump did a good way of selling. I mean, Trump was right when he said, yeah, Dave, I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I agree with the whole libertarian thing and the wall thing, because Trump's right. If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. Like, that's what was so appealing to him, to a lot of people.
And one of the arguments I'd made is, not only is there a financial problem because these people are coming in here and then of course they're going welfare, which people will tell you is not true, but you can do any amount of research you want and you'll find that it in fact is true. But the problem is, I said, even if you were to take away that incentive for them, there's still a national security issue if you just let anyone in unchecked. And it could be either, like you were discussing, where somebody comes in illegally, they kill somebody, and, that could have been prevented. And it could be that, or it could be this. It could be biological warfare from people coming in here and, spreading more diseases than, There's so many reasons why I'm against, this idea of this open borders. And I know we've had it out, a couple people internally in our group here talking about borders before, but this is the reason.
Yeah, Kevin in particular, because he just wants to burn fucking everything to the ground, which I don't blame him. But yeah, Kevin in particular is really, inside baseball here. Kevin honestly is like, I don't want to say extreme because we'll get flagged for content. But
he's been on the show a couple times. He'll be on in the future.
But yeah, Kevin's very open with it, the reason why he feels the way he does, and he's not wrong. It's just like, we can't. I don't trust people to live like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I draw back, and we have to have some kind of order, and that's where the border debate kind of starts. That's what really starts the border debate. Is like, I want freedom. I want you to walk wherever too, and invisible lines bullshit too, but. Where does fucking the First Amendment start and stop? If we can't own Mexico because I'm a colonist, right? If we don't want to colonize the world anymore, fine. But where does First Amendment start and stop? Where does the right to jury trial start and stop? Where does the right to defend myself? I mean, that's what, I told my buddy years and years ago, I'd be fine with no borders if the whole world was America. Honestly. Have the whole world be America, have everything be ran as a republic, but you all get constitutional rights like what we got here. Fine, do it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But don't make America smaller, basically, by importing people. And to go even a step further, David, nobody talks about how the United States lets in the most legal immigration on earth happens in America, and has for a long fucking time. So before we talk about when Trump talked about closing the borders and all this other shit and refugees from war-torn areas and tugging on our heartstrings, we already let in so many people. I know it's the best of the best, but why would we take in the riffraff?
Because, Ryan, the Statue of Liberty that was given to us by France says something about taking your shittiest people.
No, it doesn't. You're rich or you're poor. It does.
Give us your shit, your garbage.
Yeah, give us your murderers and your child molesters and your human traffickers.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's all written on there.
Your coyotes.
Cuomo reads it every morning in the mirror to get himself hyped up.
Yeah, to piggyback into something real quick, I saw a thing that Apple is talking about. They're going to scan your iCloud library for inappropriate photographs of children. And
this is one of those fine lines.
Sounds fucking great, right? Well, what's next?
One of those fine lines.
What's next? Let's just do what we do here, right? I'll just do conspiracy on my life. All the headlines that I take pictures of, one day I could go in there and they're fucking gone because they don't agree with the point of view.
It's one of those fine lines.
That's the political aspect. Now, as far as the kiddie stuff, we're all gonna say, yeah, right? Well, it's literally called this is why it's freedom, people. You gotta fucking fight for this shit. Look, I don't trust Apple. I don't trust the pervert either. But
wait, why? You don't trust Apple?
I don't trust Apple.
Why?
Let's just go Apple. You know, you're not a Bible guy, but the Apple has got the bite out of it already, bro. This is like the sign, not the sign of the devil, but
Was it Eve who bit the apple?
yes, sir. Because she didn't fucking listen. And then Amanda had to deal with the consequences. Like, oh wow, I see my dick all of a sudden. I'm naked. I wonder what.
Things never change.
I wonder what Eve did. Eve actually convinced Adam because Eve was convinced by the snake. Don't listen to women. That's the moral of the story, people. It fucked up paradise. I don't know.
Again, for those of us watching who have not seen the previous 54 episodes, this is nothing super uncommon.
I mean, freedom of opinion, right? Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I had for headlines.
All right, I know you got headlines. I don't have too much left.
That's all. Put it down.
I got a couple things I just want to glance over.
Is that show prep?
Yeah, bro. Show prep. It's not actually show prep. This is just like notes that I wanted to.
It's called show prep. That's what it is. You do show prep unknowingly.
All right. Well, I just write down the shit that I know I gotta say. Like, look, I gotta cover the Rogan thing. I gotta cover the My Pillow election guy thing. We did that last week. I realized it after I wrote it down. But
I'm sorry. Were you not present for last week's episode?
Oh, it's just in my shit, bro.
Did you happen to miss it? I just want to go back and see if you were there by chance.
I'm day drinking today, not yesterday, bro. Or last week.
I think you're always drunk.
I do drink every week on here. My doctor asked me how much I drink. I told him not a lot. All right, I just got like 3 things here.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the show.
All right, so first of all, CNN, this isn't important. I don't want to rip into it. I just think it's funny. CNN had 3 employees show up, not be vaccinated. They fucking fired them on the spot. So I told you guys, get ready, man. This isn't, I'm not joking. And to even piggyback into that.
So hold on. They fired the 3 unvaccinated people, but they let Chris Cuomo not talk about his family drama on air.
Yep, tell me there's not an agenda at play. Excuse me for burping. Sorry, people. And to piggyback this into my next one, Fauci said, expect, quote, a flood of COVID mandates after it gets FDA approval. So I know the federal government isn't going to come out and say, hey, United States citizens, either get your vaccine or you're going to jail. No. It's going to be your employers, your health insurance, your life insurance.
Your employers, they would never do such a thing.
Walmart, Amazon last week, Dave. Did you watch or no?
The what?
Walmart and Amazon.
Oh, yeah, Disney Plus and Walmart. And like 3 seconds ago when you were talking about CNN.
Yeah. Your health, if it's not your employer, it's your health insurance. It will be your life insurance. It will be.
Maybe your health insurance will charge you a higher deductible if you're not.
100. If they do it for smokers, why not unvaccinated?
Yeah. Do you have all your vaccines? No. Ooh, that $6,000 deductible is $12,000. Sorry.
We're gonna factor that into your cancer risk reward fucking number that they make up in their fucking bullshit.
No, it's science. Trust the science.
Tell me metadata doesn't matter, but everything the banks use to give me a number for my fucking bank loans on my house, my car insurance, my health insurance, my life insurance, it's all based in an algorithm. I wonder where they get all this fucking data from to just plug it in. These fucking cocksuckers.
Oh, well, they don't use any data.
All right.
Facebook employee who was stalking his girlfriend leaving a hotel. See, all these headlines you would know about if you were watching the show all the time. Watch every week. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Drop, man. I told you guys, one of my Decembertainments. We're right. I already said this shit. Said this shit a year ago. We said this shit privately. We have a track record. Just spread the word. We need more subscribers. Got the 50s. Pretty good for a political show. Some people would say we're trash.
Hold on. A right-leaning political show on YouTube.
Yeah, with the subscription rate, you look at that, you're like, wow. But our view time says otherwise. So I like it. All right, and then I got a couple things about wasting billions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars. I saw a thing that the Michigan Air Force was landing and taking off of the interstate in Michigan. Yeah. With jets.
Well, yeah, that's how they normally practice, I'm sure.
With destroyers of towns, like.
Can you imagine driving down the interstate and you just look over, there's a jet?
What the fuck?
Guy looks over like, hey, did you get your vaccination?
Yeah, it's the first time it's ever been done in America. Like, the Air Force has never done this before. It's not fucking coincidence.
Oh, they're just.
I wonder why they're trying to. I don't know. This is doing this now.
Maybe he just ran out of fuel or something.
That boat that went in the Suez Canal and fucked all the trade routes up for a month. Or the fucking computer chip factories that are starting on fire spontaneously.
Yeah, it's a shame. If only we made our own computer chips here.
Yeah, fucking Tesla can buy a plant and not have anything in it. And then, yeah, I saw a thing, NASA, the rover. The headline on my phone, the notification, I don't know if you people do this, but I turn on every news notification. Maybe that's why I get so pissed off during the week at news, is because I do it to myself. I don't have social media notifications on, but I have news headlines on. And the one said, Mars, quote, keeps surprising us. I was like, I wonder what's surprising about a foreign fucking planet. So I click and open this thing up.
Was it aliens?
No, they drilled a hole. Okay,
they drill holes all the time. I drilled holes yesterday. That doesn't even mean anything. They drilled a hole and they were excited. Is there something in there?
No, it's not, David. It's not what was in there. It was what wasn't in there. So, mind you, NASA gets billions of fucking dollars. We built the Space Force. We're fucking doing all the sweet shit. We blast shit up there. They drilled a hole and nothing was in the sample. It was empty.
What?
It was empty.
How's that possible?
Like, the thing they were going to collect in the little jar they were drilling with was empty. They didn't... All their research time, development, all this shit, all this government power, all this corporate power, all this super smart people power, and they still got it wrong. But they're basically saying we're going to keep drilling holes, so they're going to keep trying. I'll see if they report anything else. I just think it's super hilarious. We blast shit up there without knowing what the fuck we're doing, and then we're surprised. Mars keeps surprising us. Yeah, no shit. It's like, it's Mars. We just landed there. What?
Yeah, I mean, how excited, or how much did we not? Did we really go there thinking nothing would be different?
Okay. We drill holes here on Earth all the time. Well, it's not a fucking Mars.
You know what's probably on Mars? Like, you go up there. You know what happens is you probably go up there. It's just a vast emptiness. It's dark. There's nothing. There's no trees, no animals, no people, no aliens, no water, no nothing. And then you start pacing, right? You're taking steps. You're walking, and off in the distance, you see a fucking Dollar General. Like, where the fuck? Why is there a Dollar General on Mars?
Cosmic Dollar.
Those places show up fucking everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my dad has a theory about that, but I'll bring him on for the Camouflage Messiah episode. But yeah, they went up there, drilled a hole. It didn't fucking work. But the ego of man, right? Wow, it surprises us. It's a fucking another planet. It's another planet. You're acting like we landed in the fucking Serengeti or something. I mean, it's another planet.
There's shit we don't know about on our planet, and we've been here for a very long time.
Like 100,000 years, we're still figuring shit out.
Like, oh shit, this is a new species. We discover new species every day on the planet we live in. And we're surprised by Mars? Of course. We don't know anything about it.
Trust the scientists. Whoa, that's a shocker. I'm trusting these... Dude, what are your expectation levels? That you know everything already? Like, what am I trusting? I'm trusting that you know yourself well enough that you didn't make a mistake? What the fuck, man? Fuck these science pricks.
I've been thinking about the trust the science thing. And I think the perfect way to describe this is it's not that I don't trust the science, it's that I don't trust people. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Well, I don't trust the guy that, said that the lab leak didn't happen, but the lab leak is becoming more and more clear literally every day. I don't know his name, but Rogan had him on as the guy and girl. He's a Serja or whatever. Burning Points, is that their podcast? This is real bad.
This is foreign language to me. You're speaking Mars right now. I have no idea what this means.
I could look it up, but Rogan's had this dude on. He's like Indian or something, and she's a girl, but he's like conservative.
Indian, like
that, yeah, not feather. And it's so old school.
Relax, YouTube. Satire.
Yeah, YouTube.
Jesus.
It's called comedy. It's a comedy show. We don't cover anything serious here. It's all satire.
It's all satire. Nothing serious, and we don't think election fraud happened.
Frogs are gay! It's all satire.
You're poisoning the water.
And Jones was right about a lot of shit, man. It's getting weird. Asarda or Sayarda or something like that. Anyways, him and his friend, she's Democrat, left-leaning, he's right-leaning, and they have their own political show. They were on The Hill. They now have their own thing. I think it's called Turning Point. I don't know. I'm doing a shitty job selling it. But he covered...
go watch this show we don't know the name of. Great stuff.
People know who the fuck I'm talking about. Just type in Rogan and fucking The Hill. You'll find it. And me talking Rogan all the time, and then I go...
I haven't watched him since he moved to Texas. Go to Rogan, Google this, and find these people. I don't know their names, and I don't like Rogan, but I know all this stuff somehow.
I'm a piece of shit, Dave. I know. Anyways, they got the dude, he had fun this week, but he talked about the lab leak theory and the breakdown of it. It's getting really serious, and it's obviously coming out more and more that the lab leak theory is highly probable. So, take it with a grain of salt. People were sick in fucking September. They went there for like a military training convention and all sorts
I thought that was a conspiracy, Ryan. Remember all the people who said they had it in November? Oh, it didn't have it in November because it didn't start till February. Shut up. You know exactly when the virus started? You know exactly when it started, really.
Well, we trust communists.
How could that be possible unless, I don't know, you know its date of origin?
We just trust cocksucking communists. So, remember, it's not competence. It's competence.
Speaking of, suck it, China. China, suck it.
Yeah, what would we beat them?
What's second place like, China? Idiots. Computer chip morons. Stupid.
You baby hacking slices. You COVID.
Also, Russia, suck it, Russia, who you don't even go by Russia, you go by ROC because you're fucking... I hate the Olympics, I don't care. We're just better than everybody. We know it. We don't need Olympics to prove it.
They hate us because they hate us, bro. You don't hold a fourth of the world's wealth with like 1% of its population without being bad motherfuckers. I think that's all I have on my magic pad here.
Your show prep?
Shut up. I'm just gonna finish it with this before Decembertainment. We're pretty close to human sacrifices. My Decembertainment.
You can't use human sacrifice as a segue. There's too many questions that are unanswered.
Yeah, we can get it next week. Human sac. Well, that's just
we're gonna wait a week to talk about human sacrifice.
Yeah, like Conspiracy Cast 5.
That's definitely not next week. It is coming though. We're doing it. We keep saying we gotta set it up. We haven't done anything. There will be Conspiracy Cast 2, which is sort of Conspiracy Cast 3. Ooh, I gotta be careful with that. Conspiracy Cast. No, we can't do that. That's white something. I don't know.
That's like the Germans. Count from your thumb.
All right. So
Germans count this way.
I don't think we want to be Germans. Conspiracy Cast 2, which is Conspiracy Cast 3. We're gonna do a ghost.
Yeah, ghost hunt will be fun, man. For real. All right. Human sacrifice. I just mean that we cover it every week, man. Like people are getting crazy with the trust of science. If people listen, we may get to the future that people will be like, look, to save the earth, we just have to kill your grandparents, and we're gonna be like, as long as I can have cheeseburgers.
Well, we got to transfer their wealth. Remember, we had that headline. It's about time that the boomers gave up their wealth. I wonder if there's any link. They wouldn't do such a thing, like kill 20% of the population.
I wonder, Georgia Guidestones, is that what they're called, where they say that they're going to have a global population of 500 million people? And they also talk about, like, all sorts of other shit. Nobody knows who paid for it, but it wasn't cheap, and it's huge. And all right, my Decembertainment this week.
You have a prop.
Dave, you like maps?
No.
I've always been a map guy ever since I was I've always been a map guy. So this globe here, I know you can't see because I have shitty equipment. But
I like maps too because the Earth is flat and globes are round.
Yeah, that's how it all works.
Satire, relax, misinformation, YouTube.
So yeah, I garbage picked this because that's how I get down in my life.
Oh.
But the other day, my dad was over. He picked this thing up. Now, I never really looked at it. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, globe. Put it in my fucking washroom, and I held onto it for mad long. I went through the move. Pulled it out of storage. I set it up somewhere so it looks all like I have education in case I try to get laid here from a female.
Really?
And,
That's gonna hold on. Can we just go to that real quick? That's your lure?
well, yeah, a pocket watch,
globe.
a watch, and a globe. I can get anywhere. Be like, yeah, I know places and I know what time it is. So chicks gotta sleep with me.
What does that even mean?
I'm just spitting bullshit.
So they're gonna come over to your house and be like, "Hey, want to see my globe?"
Like, you have a globe? Pants hit the ground. Niagara Falls. Are faucets on in here? Is it just me? Alright, so I never really looked at this fucking globe, bro. But this globe is like 100 years old.
That specific one?
This one, I garbage picked this.
How do you know that?
Because it has shit on here that's not even real anymore.
Like
There's
Croatia?
There's no Israel.
Oh, that globe was made by anti-Semites.
Yeah, dude, there's no Israel.
Are you looking in the right place?
You're gonna act. Now, most people don't know how to find shit on a map, Dave, but I can find stuff on a map. Okay, on here, French Indochina, which is just south of China, which we would call, like, I don't know, like Vietnam area now. Vietnam is one country. Korea is unsplit.
Does Taiwan exist on that globe?
Yo, that's a good question. Let me look. Tibet's here. India.
The WHO would not be satisfied.
Mongolian People's Republic doesn't even exist anymore.
But, bro, it exists deep in our hearts.
Inner Mongolia. Machu Picchu? Manchuria, actually, is the word. Not Machu Picchu. What is Machu Picchu? I know it's like a place or something.
It's not even what it is.
What is it?
Machu Picchu?
Yeah.
Machu Picchu.
It's something. What is it?
It's a place on a globe.
Shut up! Just suck it off, dude. Goddamn.
Ooh. Machu Picchu is a 15th century Inca citadel located in eastern Cordillera of southern Peru.
Yeah, I told you it's a place.
Mountain Ridge. Yeah, but it's not in Asia, that's for fucking sure.
Dude, Canada isn't even its own country here, right?
It's barely a country now.
Yeah, but it actually, this is where I'm going with this. This was very cool. My dad's pointing shit out, so I'm looking it up. Dominion of Canada, it's called, right? And I typed that in. Canada didn't win its independence, I think, until like the late 1800s or early 1900s or something. Or, I'm sorry, in the 30s even. But they're still like part of the Commonwealth of Great Britain. Canada does not have independence. They have their own constitution. They are separate, but they're still a Commonwealth technically. Fucking cocksucking Jacobins, man. So yeah, dude, there was just like a lot of cool stuff on here to like really start looking into things. Once again, these countries don't even exist. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, you know what I mean? Like now it's the United Emirates, Arab Emirates,
yeah.
Which is Saudi Arabia and like probably Qatar and all these other states. They're not even, yeah, Yemen is on here, but they're not even on here. Anglo-European or Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Anglo means like England.
Yeah, it's an English colony or something.
English-Egyptian colony. And it's probably now Sudan and other things. But it's just like, it was just very cool to like kind of flip through this, you know. So
Did you steal that? Did you steal that from the Queen?
Yeah, fuck the Queen.
She'd be so mad to know that all these colonized places are no longer hers.
Yeah, French Indochina. Thailand is Siam, S-A-I-M. S-I-A-M, rather, sorry. Yeah, there's just like a lot of the thing that really blew us was the Korea thing and Vietnam, because that really dated this map. And like, there's no Yugoslavia. That's not even a fucking country anymore, you know. Like this is like pre World War II. So this is like just after World War I and everything got fucked up. So like,
thanks Germany.
Yeah, just to see like how the world has changed is pretty powerful. But it's like so important. This is like literally why we cover shit on this podcast, and we always
If you think about it, that's a lot of change in not very long period of time.
No, this globe will be 100 years old in like 10 years or so, we'll say. My dad estimates it's from the mid-30s. French West Africa. French Equator Africa.
France owns the equator, huh?
Yeah, I guess fucking so, but fucking America, man. Yeah, this is very cool, man. It like really makes you put things in perspective that like this is like there's people alive right now that have like fought in these places and watched the world change. But this is like so important, like especially about Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
We colonized a lot less stuff than people make it sound.
Yeah, I don't even think America colonized anything. I don't think
I think we've done literally no colonization.
Yeah, all we did was just go to the other end of the continent we already conquered, one side of. Dominion of Canada. Not even your own country.
They're barely their own country now.
Yeah, so it's just it's just one of those things. My dad and I had a real good time, like trying to rip this globe apart, realizing how much has changed in such a short span of human history. So that's all I got, man. I thank everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, share the video. It's Dave and Ryan, December 1773. Drop Mondays at 7 Eastern. I'll be looking forward to seeing everybody at the premiere. Comment in particular. Help December Nation grow. We just hit 50 subs. Now on to 100. But yeah, Dave, I thank you, and I'll see everybody later.
Yeah, and when you comment too, I know we do the live chatting through the video, and that's cool. YouTube gives that they give no weight behind that. So if you leave an actual comment too, it would be greatly appreciated.
So the live chat doesn't necessarily count the same?
They don't care. You could have 1 million live chats. If you have 3 actual comments, then they say, oh, you have 3 comments.
Like, ooh, a piece of candy.
That's why, not to throw shade at Steven Crowder, I hope he's doing better, but they said they turned off the live chat because of YouTube censoring something, which may or may not be true. But I would bet that they actually turned it off so people would actually comment on the video. They're smart over there. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, he's just got to lie to people. Yeah, Steven Crowder had like a heart condition or something. And
yeah, he had his chest fixed, and then something with his heart happened. So,
guy might not be around. He might not be around too much longer, man. Fuck, man.
No, he'll be around. He's good.
Hope so. He's our.
He's the only Canadian I like.
He's our podfather on the right, man. Him and Shapiro. I think he's been going longer than Shapiro.
Well, he's been doing the social media thing longer.
I know Shapiro's always been a dork with writing articles, but
yeah, Shapiro was actually kind of around first, I think.
Yeah, but him and Shapiro are our podfathers. They're like the Rush Limbaugh of our space.
What about Rogan?
Right at the end, you want to fucking talk this shit? Dude, God damn it. It was like 2 minutes. I only watched like a minute, and you could like see. I'm like, Rogan, you're a Republican. You're a fucking straight goddamn Republican. You're batting red all day down there. Greg Abbott, smash, fucking all of it. You probably vote Trump down there, goddammit. Trump or bust, fuck it! I told you guys, it's fine, I don't care, I love him all the same. I just get upset because he masqueraded as something else, which maybe he had to do for personal salvation.
I think personally...
Now that he's got fuck you money, he doesn't have to worry about it, but...
We've had this discussion. I just think personally he's not naturally a political guy, so he just kind of looks at things through a human side and not like a logical...
Well, you should stop talking about it, because it gets spun political in the political space.
Of course.
I know he's not a political guy, but that's why he gets away with the shit, right? Because it's just
That's
Joe
why
Rogan.
it works for him.
Right, but he can't hide behind that anymore because he posts on his own shit about knowing his influence. He can't hide behind him being a dummy. It doesn't work. And I knew you were a fucking Republican. There's no hunter I know that is like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for the guy that wants stricter gun control. Never! Never! Not one of them. I don't give a fuck what state you live in. I live in a blue state. All the hunters I know vote Republican, baby. Joe Rogan was no different. Anyways, right at the end, god damn it. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll catch you all comment. Fuck the live chat. Now that I know that, I'll push that more. Like, comment, subscribe. 7 Eastern. See y'all on Monday.
All right.
And yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thank you. See ya. See you, everyone.
Go Bills.